We're live. All right, folks, welcome back. Shifting gears now off of elections over to page 321, our miscellaneous cannabis bill. We have some edits to go over. I feel like we have refined this to a place where I would like to guide this conversation towards a vote, but we are open to discussion and look through the newest amendments. Council.
Good morning. For the record, Michelle Childs, Office of Legislative Counsel, and everyone should have a copy of the latest amendments, which is draft 3.2, your strike all amendment. And so I did for this one because I think y'all are getting pretty close to get the highlighting to show the changes and everything. There's only 2 changes in this new draft from the one that I walked you through yesterday. And those 2 changes are that I removed the 2 sections that address the issue of the excise tax and whether it's going to revert back to general fund or whether it's going to be going to the cannabis regulation fund. And so you had directed me to take those 2 sections out. Appropriations and Ways and Means, are 2 more stops for this bill, and they will address it in there. And then the other change is that there is a new section 14, and that's on page 19 of your draft. And I realized that it's like really impossible to look at that language and understand what it's doing, but it's how we have to draft it when we are amending session law from an act in a previous year. And what this does is that when the legislature passed the big kind of omnibus commercial cannabis bill in 2020, and you set up the Cannabis Control Board and the structure and all of that sort of thing. I think there was questions at the time around whether or not having a board and an independent executive agency doing cannabis regulation was the best structure. And so in that legislation, there was a provision that required the auditor of accounts to come back to the General Assembly in 2023, actually, and report as to whether or not the structure that was set up in the legislation in 2020 really continues to be the best structure. Then in budget adjustment in 2023, that date was kicked out to July 1st of 2025. And so the new section that you have in section 14 here at the bottom of page 19 is a repeal of that language from 2020 requiring the auditor of accounts report. And I'm just going to read you the language that you're actually repealing because it doesn't appear in your bill. So sorry about that, but that's, and so the language reads, on or before November 15th, 2023, the auditor of accounts shall report to the General Assembly regarding the organizational structure and membership of the Cannabis Control Board and whether the structure continues to be the most efficient for carrying out the statutory duties of the board.
And that was something that was like more recently, but had been a conversation over the course of a couple of weeks for those of us who were in the development policy bunker on this bill. And found broadly amenable to request. Any questions on that or any of these other provisions within the bill? Any comment from the board?
James Pepper, chair of the board. I can just say on that last piece, the auditor, they were really unclear as to what you meant. That report requirement, what is the most efficient structure? Are you comparing us to other state regulatory agencies of cannabis states? What are the kind of performance measures that you are looking for? I can tell you that we are under contract with a consulting group right now to answer those very questions, so we can kind of independently audit ourselves and we were for deficiencies. I have to share that report with you. it wouldn't be the same exact thing that you're looking for from the auditor, because they have auditing techniques that they follow. But it would be a internal efficiency.
Right, discussion? No? Are we there?
So.
Yeah. We just need.
Yes, did somebody send a
Yeah.
bad signal out for a representative from Randolph? Chalk color. If you wanna chop it up a little, like.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Those were the only changes to it.
Post. Yes.
Yes.
We skipped it, so if we're gonna do it this afternoon.
It's on for 11:30.
It's very, and has changed since then. So you don't have to.
No. It is on the docket, as they say in judiciary.
So this time of year, I don't trust my own calendar because things are ever changing.
All right, folks, like, keep in mind, we're still on live.
Beautiful.
From. Anyone or?
I bet he's.
I'm sure it is.
Oh, okay.
Could you go stick your head in Ed, please?
Do we all get personal assistants? We all get personal assistants, handlers? Fine. I get a wake up call.
Want me to call you when I wake up every morning?
Yeah,
You want me to call it? You don't want that?
No.
I'm just kidding.
Do I need to call you when I wake up every morning?
Wake up.
I'm all right.
No, it's 1:30.
Yeah.
I think I understand, but I wanna.
Yeah, and I think it's, I think it's, I think I figured it out, I think it's the
Actually, I go
latter.
to PT every morning.
I'm letting your dog out? Sure. $100. $100 a day, I'll swing down, I'll wake up an extra half hour early.
You just create that buffer. You can still move it. On property.
$100 a day, brother, I'll come do it. I'll wake up an extra half hour. 200 to swing by your place a week? I'm worth like $80 an hour.
No.
Work for a dime less than that, except for this job. But I'm okay with it. But don't think that means it's,
It's not allowed.
don't read that the wrong way.
What are we? Let's. That's confusing.
Sure, we're above and beyond my job. A side job, I can pick my own rates.
No, I gotta take another job. And I'm like, so what would you work for an hour? And I said,
Side jobs, I can pick my own rate.
$7 an hour. And so,
I just sent him an 8 text.
that's what it takes.
I sent him say, you know, I sent him one. Anyway.
Otherwise, I need to.
About this one, we're probably gonna chop it though.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I was living
Shut up and get out.
if I wanted, no, if I wanted,
This is a little cheap.
but I decided, no.
One second. I just don't have, it doesn't matter, that's different from this. I don't think they want me to do this, okay.
And so you'd have to be north of the figure that you could make his own work plan. They're like what? North of like 3. So how much north is it? Split the difference between that and 4, how's that? That's really. Yeah.
We just do the vote.
Yep, I'm giving them 2 more.
That's what I try to tell them. I said, you're asking me to go.
Just move.
Right now,
I mean, we're just gonna shut off for a minute to come back in a minute.
and that has value.
This is gonna be really boring for somebody to watch.
Or somebody to like listen in the room, what they're saying, they may not want.
I don't want to. I got a bunch.
Maybe
It's a.
they don't want to share. Out there forever.
We line and fight pause.
Yeah, we got to play right here, so. Sorry.
The value of tired of the free for that, yeah. That's a lot of value, I think. Yeah, and I would say it's all in it, obviously.
This is
This is what,
pretty, so.
oh, absolutely. But you don't, I'm sure you think about it some days.
Well,
No.
yes, cold.
Yeah.
But I think that's contingent.
That's my.
All right, folks, bring it in. We're just gonna move this without one member. All right, folks.
Absolutely.
All right, we're gonna just move this without Hooper Randolph. So, good work on this. This was a lot of time committed to this bill, so that's appreciated. Time to get it going. So I'm gonna make a motion that we find favorable H 321, an act related to miscellaneous cannabis amendments. All right. Final discussion, final comment. Cool. All right, clerk will call a roll.
Representative Boyden, yes. Representative Pincinel,
Yes.
Representative Morgan,
Yes.
Representative Hooper Burlington,
Yes.
Representative Coffin,
Yes.
Representative Stone,
Yes.
Representative Hooper Randolph, Representative Nugent,
Yes.
Representative Waters Evans,
Yes.
Representative Byram,
Yes.
Representative Hango,
Yes.
10-0-1.
I can die, I can chair.
Is that directed at me?
Please don't
And
right now.
Still need to.
That was
I didn't say now.
Don't get used to that.
Anytime you'd like to go.
Euphoria.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Alan rushed. It'll be
All
gone
right,
soon.
folks.
Crisis.
So we have a little bit of time right now, so we're gonna go offline, but we're gonna double check with Mr. Devlin on the elections draft changes and give us a little time to review that. So let's say we are gonna come back on, since we are ahead of schedule on 2:44, we're gonna come back at 11:15 with the reviewed content on the elections bill. And I'd like to have a quick discussion and hopefully vote that out.